What flavor? If you're gonna have any Tic Tac right now.
Orange. Always orange.
Wintergreen.
I might choose a peppermint because it's vanilla and then peppermint. Which should never. No one ever acknowledges this.
Welcome to WayTooBroad, a place for friends to talk about Tic Tacs they're really, really ridiculously excited about. And other stuff also. And it's the old one. And everything's going great over here. So, I'm Hannah. And these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben.
Hi, Hannah. Good thing you spent hours on that outline. It's all I fucking heard about. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
I'm making an outline announcement. I'm making an outline.
And then I had to, I spent longer on pooping than the outline.
Well, that's a good priority.
Okay, actually, let's be real here. Ben, what are you drinking?
I have 3 drinks.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow, Ben.
Are they all water?
I have 3
Ben's
drinks.
Feeling
They're
fancy and frisky.
I got 1 ice water.
Good. That's good.
Nice.
I got 1 lemon spindrift that I haven't opened yet. I'll open it on mic.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
That was weird.
Sorry.
Mix the
And
mouth
I got
water.
1 strawberry spindrift that
Ooh.
actually I hadn't had it before I got this pack that I currently have.
Are you opening it now, too? Wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to mix them?
Oh, my fingernail.
Mix them.
No.
Mix
it all together with your water.
Don't do that.
Ruin all
awful.
3 of your beverages now.
I feel like a strawberry lemon could be really nice.
Could be.
I don't love the strawberry.
Yeah.
It's good, but the lemon is better.
The lemon's...
I couldn't find the tea one at my Target.
The lemon is
But
the
I will
best,
check again.
But I do like the strawberry. But I do understand that sometimes you take a sip and it almost veers towards like unripe, like overripe strawberry.
Wait, is it unripe
Yeah.
or overripe, Hannah?
It's overripe.
Okay.
It veers towards like really hard strawberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I feel
A
that.
hard
love it.
strawberry.
I'm all about it. I'll take that strawberry
Yeah, it's
however it
good.
wants to be.
Yeah.
It's
you know,
good.
I'm very open that
I
way.
would mix it with the lemon. I feel like that could be really interesting. Do it in your mouth. Do it in your mouth.
Okay.
Do it in your mouth.
He's doing it in his mouth.
The strawberry just overtook the lemon.
Did you have a bigger sip of the strawberry? Sip the lemon
No, they're
first.
just
You
roughly-
sip the strawberry first. Now sip the lemon
I'm
first.
I'm not gonna do
Oh,
a
fine.
science experiment
Okay,
right now.
fine. You freaking scientist. Alleged scientist. No problem.
You're a fucking scientist.
Yeah, we're
you
not.
idiot.
But who has the scientific curiosity now, huh?
Huh?
Well, thank you for
Fuck,
indulging
you
us
got me.
halfway, I guess.
Erin, what are you drinking there?
I have a key lime LaCroix. Bing.
I've been looking everywhere for that guy.
Bing. Yeah, this was, I mentioned the LaCroix sale last one. So this is like, we're flush with LaCroix for like probably at least another week. It's glorious. We've been drinking so much seltzer. It's unheard of. So I'm enjoying
That's cool,
the
though.
fruits of the LaCroix flavors.
Which are all fruits.
Which are fruits.
Yeah.
Except for the La Cola.
Right. Do you have that?
I still have some. It's not as good.
I'm actually not drinking seltzer this week.
Oh.
And it's definitely my own choice and definitely not because our whole sink is too full of dishes for me to get some water out of it. It's definitely not that. So it's not that. Don't worry. Nobody worry about that. So
Wow. Hello, so you're like a monk of the old times.
what do you mean?
It was like when the water wasn't potable, they had to drink beer. I assume that's what you're drinking.
Pretty much. I'm drinking. That was not just monks. I think that was like everyone. in the old times.
Well, the monks brewed it, etc.
So I had to go digging in my monk fridge for an alternate beverage. And what I found is turning out to be like, I mean, I guess it's not that strong, but I don't know what's going on with me, but like it's a 7%. It's basically a cocktail in a can.
Oh.
It's a perfect storm rum and ginger.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Propeller ginger beer and rum, which would not always be my jam, but I've had like 3 sips of it and I feel like silly as heck.
Yeah, and that's a big can. That's a tall boy.
It's a tall boy.
Wow, only 7%. I mean, that's not a trivial percentage.
It's not a trivial pursuit to drink this whole thing.
Well, that sounds freaking delicious.
It's very good. It's a nice, tingly ginger beer.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the rum is not too assertive, which I like.
Yeah, nice.
So, I like it,
I
yeah.
hate an assertive rum.
I actually like an assertive rum, because, why not? Take me away, you rum.
Take me away. What's that song?
Sweet Escape. Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Is that what your cocktail's called?
Yeah.
A Sweet Escape. I don't know who it is, though.
Well, nice drinks.
Thank
that
you.
Bothers me that I can't remember. Is it Gwen Stefani?
Is it? Take me away.
Take me away.
Sweet. I don't think so, but I'm going to trust you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it is.
Natasha Bedingfield. Why did I say her name like that?
What did you say?
Natasha. You probably thought my internet lagged and I was a robot. I was not.
Natasha Bedingfield.
No, it is. That's the song, Hannah.
No, it's not.
Take me away.
It's Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Natasha Bedingfield.
So okay, our paths crossed on thoughts.
Sorry.
Wait, what happened? Did I miss something?
What's her face? The
What
one you
happened?
first said, Gwen Stefani.
Gwen
She
Stefani.
also has a song called Sweet Escape.
Okay.
But it's a different song. It's the one that's like, woo-hoo, woo.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This one's not called Sweet Escape.
Whatever. Listen.
It's called Take Me Away.
It's not important. What's important is that Erin wants to read emails.
Yeah, and do up front.
Yeah. Well, before we do emails, can I read you guys a tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to give it, actually first, this all is related. I want to give producer Ian a shout out for baking cookies at my insistent and repeated request this evening. The Bon Appetit Test Kitchen, which we love so much, the same people who brought you It's Alive with such hits as It's Alive with Brad Leone and Gourmet Makes, where Claire, the wonderful Claire, makes like gourmet versions of all kinds of like treats and candies. They also have a recipe for like the best chocolate chip cookies, called BA's Best Chocolate Chip Cookies. And it was designed by another guy who is often in those videos named Chris something. And
Morocco.
thank you. And they put out a video today of him making those cookies. And I was at work and scrolling YouTube a little bit, just for a second. And I noticed that Ian had watched it already because we're like subscribed to them. And so I texted him right away and I was like, "Are you going to make those cookies?" And he was like, "I don't know. I hadn't decided." And I was like, "You should make them." And so,
Wow.
so he made them and they were so good. And I ate 2 of them and that was too many. Well, 1 was enough and 2 was too many. And so then before we recorded, we had to delay like an extra few minutes while I went poop because I ate too many cookies at once.
Wow.
And then while I was on the toilet doing that, I read this funny tweet.
Didn't realize we'd get a poop backstory. That was beautiful, actually. I just thought it was any old poop, but it wasn't. It was a 2-cookie poop.
It was a 2-cookie poop.
But like
And
an
it was
exceptional.
worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Exceptional 2 cookies.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Okay, so this tweet is from Friendly Normal Guy. His handle is at Dink Magic, DINK Magic. It's a funny parent tweet. Okay. Verbatim from my son 10 minutes ago. Quote, what is the big word? Okay, so you know how letters have a fat parent. They go to a fat parent. So Z could be the letter for the biggest word because it got fat when it grew from A. Son, what the fuck are you talking about? Goddamn.
Wow.
It's really good.
I love that way of looking at the English language. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It takes a young mind.
Yeah, it does. It does. Young minds are so beautiful and crazy. So, that's that. So now we can move on to other upfront stuff.
I have an upfront thing.
Oh,
What's up?
I have a very exciting thing that happened today.
okay.
So when I was in high school, I played baseball, and there was one kid on our team who was just clearly better than all of us, named Luke Chevalier. He went on to play college baseball for a Division II school in South Dakota, and today he got drafted by the Colorado Rockies.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
So he's like gonna be playing professional baseball.
Wow. That's
And
Which
amazing.
is super fucking cool.
You coached him.
I didn't coach him, nope.
You
Played up
indirectly.
inspired him.
I raised him. He's my son.
Well, that's great. Congratulations, Dad.
Thanks. I'm so proud.
Wow. That's really cool, though.
It is very cool. He also he played in the Cape League last summer, which was already really cool because
Is that where
he
you play baseball with capes?
Nope.
Why does it
That'd
go
be
the
great,
Cape
though.
League?
It's the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's like a summer league for like college athletes.
That would be an
Okay.
advanced
On Cape
league, though, because I feel like that would fuck up all your aerodynamics.
But you'd look
Yeah,
so
probably.
dope.
so
You'd
cool.
look dope as hell.
Sliding into first, unbeatable.
No one
Power,
slides into
raw
first,
power.
you dummy.
Oh, that's right. God, why do I suck? You do in Cape. You do in Cape.
You slide into every
Oh my god!
base.
And everyone does head first slides now, and you just look like you're like flying through the air like Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
It's Cape League rules. Okay.
No, the Cape Cod League's a summer league on Cape Cod for college athletes, and
Okay.
a
Not
lot of former pros have played in it. And also the team he was on. So when we were in high school, we played at a field in Cotuit, Massachusetts, and the baseball team there is the Cotuit Kettleers, the Cape League team. And he like grew up 5 minutes from that field and like going to Kettleers games all the time as a kid. And then fast forward like 15 years later and he's playing for the Kettleers.
Wow.
And then like another year later and he's drafted. So it's just cool.
Wow.
It's
It really
just
makes
cool
you
as hell.
emotional. I just heard it in your voice.
No,
Your son.
so emotional.
Grown up.
oh, it's just I'm so proud. Sorry.
He's chugging his strawberry spindrift to his emotion away.
No,
Wow.
for real. All he ever wanted to do is play baseball professionally, and now he gets to try it out, so that's pretty dope.
Wow, that's great.
That's great.
Love it.
Congratulations
Congrats.
to you and your
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, pass
you.
on our congrats. So,
You know I will.
my upfronts, I've been watching The Good Place.
Yay.
What a delight.
So
Such a
delight.
delight. And was just renewed with I've been listening to that Japanese House album like nonstop. It's so good. So just a renewed one there. So
That's awesome. I have been obsessively listening to Billie Eilish, really making an effort to listen to other things.
Same.
I did listen to, actually I can't say that yet. Because it's spoilers.
Oh.
And I've been watching, Gentleman Jack.
thank God. Thank God. I was hoping one of you had.
Yes, it's extremely good. We're caught up to this
good.
week, so
Oh,
we know everything.
man.
All the trials and tribulations.
We know everything.
Of our
I
program.
highly recommend the audiobook, Hannah.
Okay.
Highly. It's so fun to listen to the audiobook after. I'm actually saving it until the rest of it. I have 2 hours left, but I'm saving it. I had been I've been stopping when it caught up to the show because it's just it's amazing. The show hardly dramatizes it.
Huh.
And so I'm going to save the last 2 hours until I'm done to give me something to go on after the show is over.
What's the book called?
I think it's just called Gentleman Jack, a companion to the
Gentleman Jackass, more like it.
Movie tie-in. What?
Yeah, movie tie-in. The one I have.
Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of books. Oh, there's 2. Such Sweet Possession. Do you know that one?
No, what is that?
It says...
That's not it. It is!
Such Sweet Possession, The Life and Loves of Anne Lister.
I didn't know about this. It's 2 hours, 17 minutes. Cool. I'm gonna get this one. It's, Gentleman Jack movie tie-in is the one that I have. And I haven't listened to the Such Sweet Possession.
Wow.
I have a question. I have a question, speaking of movies. How do you guys feel about the live-action Lion King coming out soon?
Meh.
You know,
thoroughly
yes,
meh.
same.
I fully rolled my eyes at it, and I have no idea whether it'll be good or not, but, like, I actually think it, like, visually looks really cool.
It does, and the cast is really good.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I'm very behind on movies, unlike you, a verified cinephile. I haven't been to the movies in a really long time. So I'm not sure. Like, Ian and I were, like, talking every weekend about how we had to go to see that new Marvel movie. And then we just never did. And he's like, well, it's past spoiler time, so let's just wait till it comes out on demand. That's, like, pretty much what always happens to us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
But I have a couple upfront things, too.
Please. Spit them out for the love of God.
Spit them out. Ian gave me this ad for McDonald's today.
Okay.
Cool. How romantic. Sex starts at McDonald's.
And they're doing a thing. This is like our own little munch squad. Where they're doing a thing where they're bringing some globally served entrees to the U.S.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, so there's like a whole like spread at the front that has like pictures of all the things that they're bringing in. And
are they bringing rice burgers?
No, I'm not sure, but the ones that they're showing on the front are tomato mozzarella chicken sandwich, Grand Extreme Bacon Burger, which looks horrifying, cheesy bacon fries, the tomato mozzarella chicken sandwich is from Canada, the Grand Extreme Bacon Burger, I don't even know what flag that is, honestly. The cheesy bacon fries, I think, are Australia, and the Stroop Waffle McFlurry.
That sounds so good. Holy shit.
That does
sound good. Unfortunately. So
fuck, that sounds so good.
This is not an ad, but it was relevant.
Is that just for your location?
No. It's for like
this is like
the US as a whole.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had this whole quip prepared about I had McDonald's once and I'm still digesting it, but that I might stroop by.
Well, I have a coupon for buy one get one free.
You have a Stroop-on? Ooh,
I have a Stroop-on.
No, that doesn't work. Abandoned ship. Abort.
Okay. So.
Oh, man.
I hope they bring rice burgers. Rice burgers are good.
What is that?
It's a burger, but with, like, instead of a patty, it's like a thing of rice compressed.
I'm sorry, I just got it.
Oh my god.
Okay. What's a rice burger, Ben?
It's a burger, but with instead of patties, no, not instead of patties, instead of buns, it's like compressed rice.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is really good.
It sounds.
I was thinking this whole time that the burger is made of rice.
Me too.
No,
Not
you idiot.
interested.
I was also thinking that.
Well, when you say a bean burger, is it a burger made of beef surrounded by beans? No.
It's fair. She has a fair point.
Yeah, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
That's right.
But counterpoint: does anyone say beef burger? No. Well, I guess some people do.
They say hamburger. That's
hamburger.
wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong
too.
Weird.
I think that's because it's from Hamburg, Germany.
Wow.
That's my guess.
That's not right. You're making stuff up.
I'm just guessing is what I'm doing. Oh my god. Wait, that reminds me.
Did you just get it?
No. Did I tell you what I learned the other day about the company Haagen-Dazs?
What?
Where do you think Haagen-Dazs is from?
I heard something about this. Here, you guys have this moment. I'm going to go turn my fan on.
No, don't look it up, Erin. Don't look it up.
They were a Dutch company.
No, they're not. Why is she leaving?
She's going to, like, do... I don't know. She's turning a fan on.
Well, I want her to hear this, too, so now she's just going to have to edit this out.
She's turning a fan on, which is different. She's not, like... Okay, it's like she's flipping a switch.
She apparently thought that this was unimportant enough that she didn't have to hear it while she was turning her fan on.
She's turning a fan on, not, like, a fan of the podcast. You know what I mean? Like, hey, sexy. But, like, a ceiling fan.
Why is the fan of the podcast saying that to her?
No, she's saying it to them. She's turning the fan on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
God,
Okay.
get on my level tonight, you guys.
All right. Listen, Haagen-Dazs is an American company. First of all, that blew my mind right away. It was founded by a family of Jewish immigrants from Poland, Jewish-Polish immigrants, right? And they made up the name. It doesn't mean anything, and they wanted it to look and sound Danish because Denmark had been so good to its Jews during World War II.
Oh, wow.
So it's a made-up word made to look Danish. Here's the thing. There's no such thing as an umlaut in Danish, and there's no such thing as
ice cream.
Z followed by an S in the Danish language.
Oh.
So even though it's made up to sound Danish, there are two things in it that do not appear in Danish, and it was made up by Jewish-Polish immigrants in America.
Wow. Fascinating.
So that's Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs apples.
How about that?
How about Dazs apples? Okay.
How about
Okay.
Stroopwafel?
Yeah.
Wow, that's nuts.
Because, like, some of the flavors have nuts in them.
Yeah. Like the Swiss almond, which is my favorite.
We have 2 emails.
You read your mom's, I'll read your dad's.
Okay, well, who's going to read Ben's mom's and Ben's dad's?
No, they're the same people. We knew that.
Oh, that's right.
That was last week's.
But you're not the same people.
But our parents are the same people. What are we?
Nerds.
Okay, yes, this one's relevant to my interest. So we got an email from my mom, Aunt Brown, who, with the subject line, My Little Ponies. And she had this to say. So I thought I'd fill in a few details for Hannah about those weird recordings. I referenced last week some My Little Pony tapes from when I was little that really creeped me out. Hannah, you were between 3 and 4 when we moved to Florida. I loved them, but they also creeped me out. This happened to correspond with the time Hurricane Andrew hit. While we were not directly in the path, we were close enough to have to close up our house with storm shutters and hunker down in a dark windowless hallway while winds howled and things hit the house. While preparing to go through this with you, I bought these so we could listen to them on your beloved tape recorder while we sat in the dark during the storm. Basically as a distraction. They were a bit weird, but they did the job. One story I've heard about me during that time when, like, Hurricane Andrew, when they were preparing for Hurricane Andrew, was that as Dad and Grandpa were, like, nailing the shutters onto our house, I was, like, watching them and, like, looking really sad, and they like, turned to ask me if I was, like, scared, and I was like, I liked my house the way it was! Because I was fucking adorable.
Because you were fucking selfish.
There's the final paragraph here. Also, you and I and your beloved original My Little Pony collection spent many happy hours playing in the pool. They had picnics, fashion shows, and other adventures.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Then she said, I think this must be like an auto signature, right? It says love and then her full name and her cell phone number.
Just in case you need to call her and want to remember what her name is.
Should you read those out? Should we read out the phone number on top?
It is part of the email. Clearly she'd want that.
Yeah.
No, don't. I mean, it's me. It's up to me. I'm saying no.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Don't.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't.
So, yeah, I guess maybe I didn't play with them as much in the house as in the pool, and also no wonder they got destroyed.
Yeah, chlorine is bad for My Little Pony hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like people hair.
Right, and your little pony hair.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to read the other one, Erin?
Yeah, this is from Uncle Brown. The subject is some things. The email says 2 things, actually. First thing, Erin's obsession from last week, Gentleman Jim. I'm sure that was a typo. I'm sure he means Gentleman Jack. Is spectacular!
Yeah.
In capital letters.
Before you go on, in his defense, we talked about Gentleman Jack at the office today.
You and Uncle Brown?
Yes, and
wow.
he did state the name correctly at that time.
Excellent.
Let the record show.
Good. We'll totally assume typo. It's spectacular! I'd already watched 2 really exceptional series in the last week. Good Omens on Amazon and Foss/Verdon on FX, both of which I highly recommend.
Fosse. Bob Fosse. Come on, Erin.
I don't fucking know. Fosse Verdon.
You never heard Bob Fosse?
No.
Wow, Erin. Jeez.
Who is he?
A dancer?
He was a choreographer. And dancer.
It's
very
fine.
famous one.
Wow, I thought he was going to be like one of our presidents by the way that you fucking reacted. Fosse Verdon on FX, both of which I highly recommend. But this one practically knocked them out of my mind. Riveting TV. Thank you, Uncle Brown. I totally agree. I love it so much. Second thing, I just want you to know that nothing makes a father quite as proud as hearing his son say in a broadcast, I'd fuck the Pokemon. Maybe we should have been stricter about your gaming when you were a kid. Yours sincerely, Uncle Brown, parentheses, Dad.
Oh, speaking of Pokemon I'd fuck, there was a new Nintendo Direct this morning about the new Pokemon games.
Nice.
And they released some new ones, including the legendaries from each of the games, and they're all super hot. And I'd fuck all of them.
Is this a new segment?
Yeah. It's called Pokemon.
No, we need a new segment called Pokemon You Wouldn't Fuck. That would be shorter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're totally right.
Wow.
Every week, you know what? This is legitimately going to be a segment. Every week I'm going to go through like 5 Pokemon through the Pokedex at a time.
Okay.
And we'll talk about if I'd fuck them or not.
Let's call it the Norbert Brown Pokemon fucking corner.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, sponsored by Norbert Brown. Or inspired by with his email.
Yeah.
Thanks for the great idea, Uncle Brown. Thanks for the
This is your fault.
Yeah.
Love it.
Great. That was great. I think that was all the upfront stuff that I had.
Dopity dope. Let's pop the pop in.
Let's pop the pop in. Ben is first this week.
Ben.
Oh, it's me. I'm so excited, you guys.
Hey, what is it?
Mine's a person, and the reason it's a person is because I just finished watching a show that she created and starred in, and I'm watching another show that she created, and love both of them so much that I'm obsessed with both of them, and so I'm just going to be obsessed with her.
Ooh.
And her name is Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh.
She created Fleabag.
Yeah.
And starred in Fleabag. And she created Killing Eve.
Oh.
Which is such a different show, but is also really fucking good. And is amazing. And she's just a super talent. Fleabag is... Have either of you seen it?
Just season 1, a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel
season
like
2 just came
the
out.
same about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think I watched at least a few episodes of the first season, but I don't think I'm, like, anywhere near caught up, and it has been a long time.
It's so good. It's only 12 episodes, but it's so, like, the
whole thing or the second season?
the whole thing.
Ah.
Each season is only 6 episodes. And she tells just such an amazing story in such a small amount of time, because they're also, they're 25-minute episodes. They're not, hour long. So it's crazy. It's so funny, and also heartbreaking and gut-wrenching, and very the depth of all the characters that she gets into again, and so I can't stress such a short amount of time. I don't feel like I've ever become that attached to characters and felt so deeply for them in such a short amount of time with a show. It's about the main character who you don't actually learn her name ever, but she's referred to as like by the credits as Fleabag.
Mm-hmm.
She's never actually called that in the show, and you never actually learn her name, which is really interesting. There are actually a couple like main characters whose name you've never learned, which is like an interesting choice.
I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah. Here's what it says on Wikipedia. Phoebe Waller-Bridge writes and stars as the protagonist Fleabag, an angry, confused, and sexually voracious young woman living in London. And yeah, it's particularly known for breaking the fourth wall, which it does all the time. She's like, the main character is also almost like the narrator for the show. And so she's breaking the fourth wall constantly to talk to you. And that's used in a lot of really interesting ways as the show goes on. It's not just like a fun little way to like throw in extra jokes, even though it is that also, but it's like also a really interesting narrative device that she uses. And almost like there are a couple times where she like makes you feel invasive, you know what I mean? By how she like handles that breaking of the fourth wall. It's just so good. It's about like trauma and heartbreak, but also very funny. And just, I watched it because I felt like everyone on my Twitter feed was raving about how amazing it was after the second season just came out. And I was like, man, I guess I got to really try this. And I'm just joining the chorus of people saying that the show's amazing and everyone should watch it. Killing Eve, very different show. It's not like, it's like kind of a dark comedy, but it's more of a thriller.
But equally popular on Twitter.
Yes, true. It is about an MI5 intelligence officer played by Sandra Oh, who begins investigating this assassin who is played by Jodie Comer, who I haven't seen in anything else, but she's really, really, really good. She won a BAFTA for playing for her role in this for Best Actress.
That's what
she plays an assassin,
for, right?
What?
Best actress, best actress, best actress for the acting.
Yeah, that's what it stands for. Hannah?
Yep. That's exactly, you're exactly correct.
You're being fucking redundant, Ben. Best actress for the acting for actress, Ben.
She plays an assassin, a psychopathic assassin named Villanelle.
Wow, cool name.
Yeah.
Who Sandra Oh begins investigating. Oh, and Sandra Oh's character's name is Eve. That's where the Eve comes in. And they like kind of become obsessed with each other because like Sandra Oh's character is really funny. She's like not someone who investigates people initially. She's like someone who is basically kind of like working for witness protection, but like the British equivalent. But she's also like just on the side obsessed with female assassins, almost as like a fan. She's like really like impressed by their work, like not like a creepy way, just like in a, you know, like some people just have like those kind of morbid curiosities.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That she's like that kind of person. So she actually started like investigating because she noticed a pattern on her own of this assassin who she was pretty sure was a female because of like some hints that her male counterparts didn't pick up on. But yeah, we finished. There are 2 seasons out. I think they're each like 8 episodes. We're halfway through the first season, and we had to stop watching last night because it was getting late and it was like right at a cliffhanger, and I've just been thinking about watching it all day now.
Doesn't that suck when you're in that position and then you have to come record the podcast? I hate that.
It does a little bit.
I know.
Like, I really want to watch it so bad right now. It's like when we're done, I'm going to go downstairs and watch that.
But it's just ramping up the excitement for
that's
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it really
TV
is.
foreplay or whatever.
So I get to talk about why I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's very exciting.
That's why you're excited for it.
That's why I'm excited. It's very exciting. Sandra Oh is great. I've never really seen Sandra Oh in anything because I never watched Grey's Anatomy and
Sandra
I haven't seen anything else she's in.
Did you just do that too?
Did you both just do that?
Both because I was surprised and because it was a joke. You know, I haven't seen Grey's Anatomy. What's wrong with me? What the fuck is wrong with me? But I've seen her. You know what she was in that I really loved is that movie Hard Candy with Ellen Page.
I didn't see that.
It's a really great movie. It's like a small budget Canadian movie. There's like 5 people in it. Sandra Oh is one of them. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's Canadian.
Oh, eh? Sandra, eh?
Jesus Christ.
Sandra A. Oh my
Sandra A.
Does she play a British person in this, or is she like...
No, she plays someone who was born in Britain, but I think raised in Connecticut.
Mm.
So she doesn't have a British accent.
More like Connecticut, am I right?
Her husband's British and Polish.
Oh.
In real life?
That's a random fact. No, like in the show, he speaks Polish.
Oh, okay.
But he has a British accent, so he's like ethnically Polish. You understand.
What's his name?
Nico Polastri.
I see him. I'm on IMDb.
Okay.
I see him.
Oh yeah, I see him.
I told you.
Oh, they're based on books. I don't think I knew that.
Oh, I wanted to say when you were talking about Fleabag, I don't know if you read this far down in the Wikipedia page for it, but it's adapted from a one-woman play that she wrote in 2013.
Yeah, I saw that. That was written on a dare.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow.
Like, I don't even... People don't even like those.
Was also in the Princess Diaries.
Sandra? Oh.
Oh, oh my god. I haven't seen that. No, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it in a long
She was
time.
in the Princess Diaries?
It probably came in.
Oh.
Really? As what?
Yeah, as the principal of the school.
What?
Minor role. It's a minor role.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of The Princess Bride. I was so lost.
That is so old.
That's such a different movie.
But I know. I was like, was she some sort of child extra? But that movie's so good, though. It's better than The Princess Diaries.
Okay, well, sure. It's not like a conversation. Okay? So anyway, Killing Eve and the lady.
And the lady. So what does that have to do with our friend Fleabag?
She created it.
She created it, but it was based on books.
Said that.
Yes.
I know.
She developed it for TV. She's the showrunner, baby.
That's
Love
cool.
That.
She makes it. And it's so different from Fleabag, but she does such a good job anyway. She wrote a lot of the episodes too, I think. Not all of them, like for Fleabag, but she wrote a few.
She contains multitudes.
She does. She's very talented.
I've seen her in something. What was it? Crashing.
Who? Did
you watch Crashing?
No.
She was starred in that too. That's a good show. Probably better than your shows.
That's not Pete Holmes Crashing, though.
No, it's a British series.
Is it like more common in Britain for there to be shows that are like written and created and starred in all the same person?
Maybe.
Because that's both Crashing and Fleabag were written and created by and starring Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
I also think
and Catastrophe was written by those two.
I also think it's more common for shows to be like limited runs, like they're not intended to go on forever.
Yeah, and I love that because I love shows with a good ending. As much as like I really love Fleabag and like would be okay with watching it forever, like she told a whole story. Like she told a complete part of that character's life, and then it was like, I don't know. It's just I feel like good endings are so hard. Cough, cough, Game of Thrones. And like when you're creating a show where you're like, this is going to be like 12 episodes, and that's what I need to tell this story. I feel like you end up with a much higher quality, like overall product.
Yeah,
she's a planner, not a pantser.
Fleabag is evidence of that.
It's like no room for regret,
So it's like totally over Fleabag.
Yes.
Okay.
No season 3.
No.
What's that other one? Did you ever watch Green Wing? That's a weird ass show.
Nope.
Not super related. It might have some of the same actors because a lot of those types of shows share actors, but it's a hospital comedy sitcom thing, but it's British, and it's just like, it's like Scrubs, but on like a lot of hallucinogens. It's
What?
It's a weird show. It's a really weird show. It's like surrealistic.
What's it called again?
It's called Green Wing.
I've never.
And I think it was from like the 90s. It's like it's the production quality is like akin to like Black Books type.
2004 2007. How about that?
How about that? Well, that's close to the 90s, Ben.
It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
When you're right, you're right.
It's neighbors. They're neighbors.
It's neighbors.
But neighbors who are like best friends, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over at
Best
each
friend
other's
neighbors.
houses all the time.
Right. They have a lot in common.
They're listening to the same music
Right.
at this point.
Through the windows.
Right.
Cool. Well, I'm definitely going to check both of those out. I was actually hoping one of you would bring
yes.
one of these shows because I keep hearing about them, but Twitter, in my opinion, can't be trusted. I only listen to you two.
That's right.
You know, speaking of Twitter, I believe the season finale of the second season of Killing Eve just aired recently, and a lot of people on Twitter I saw were not happy with it.
Oh.
So I hope it's better than Twitter's reaction to it. I've avoided reading any reactions in detail because spoilers.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of a show. Normally, I don't care about spoilers that much. I kind of do for this show because it's just like so much crazy action every episode.
Yeah. I feel like I've like something like that Marvel movie I was talking about earlier. Like, I never cared about spoilers for that movie. I only cared like in as much as I was told I was supposed to care. And so it's like I felt an obligation to be worried about the movie being spoiled, but I didn't care. But like there are a handful of things that I do. Like Game of Thrones even, like there were times when I like read spoilers intentionally.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah. But like but like some things I like when Dad ruined the ending of I ruined the ending of Harry Potter for Dad, maybe something happened with Harry Potter.
I don't know.
And I cared about that. I'm still mad about that. So,
and there, by the way,
it might have been
I think it was both. I think he ruined it for me, and then I ruined it for someone else while I was yelling at him about it. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That's hilarious. One reason that a lot of people get excited about Killing Eve on Twitter that I've seen is that there are like definitive sexual undertones to the obsession that those two have with each other. And that, that gets people rowdy.
Happy Pride.
I feel called out right now.
I meant to say that up front. Happy Pride, everybody. We didn't.
Pride.
Oh yeah, happy
technically,
Pride. Speaking of
last week, our episode came out in June, but this is the first one where I thought about it.
Durham's Pride isn't until fucking September. So
what? Why?
I have no fucking idea. But it was always in September. So hashtag
so
not
weird.
my pride.
It's like National Pride Month, right? Like Gay Pride Month. Like
everybody else does the Pride Parade in June. We're like, oh, it's too hot. I think I've heard that it's because it's too hot. Guess what? It's not hot. You know when it is very hot? In September. So,
what?
Yeah.
Something embarrassing that's going on right now that I just read about is apparently there are some douchebags in Boston who are like petitioning for a permit to do a straight Pride parade.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Wow.
Dumb shit.
With that ugly black and white flag we looked up the other day.
Yeah, our Pride is September 28th.
Wow.
So it's at the very end of September.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
did you see?
Happy Pride to the rest
do you guys
of you.
know Eva? Do you guys follow Eva Victor on Twitter?
No.
You're a victor.
Nice.
Erin's not on Twitter.
She's the one
That's right.
who. Did you see that video a couple weeks ago? I think the caption was like a baby when you say hi to it. It's like the most perfect fucking video in the world. But she posted a video of me explaining to my boyfriend why we're going to straight pride. It's also really funny. Highly recommend. Recommend following her. She's very funny.
Recommend a follow.
Recommend a follow. Her handle is Eva and her IUD.
Love it.
Followed her. I did it. Straight followed her right then. Okay. What's happening now? Where are we?
It's Hannah's.
It's Erin's turn.
No, it's Erin's turn.
Great obsession, Ben.
That is great.
Thank
You've
you.
inspired me to. I'm going to rewatch Fleabag.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to watch season 2, and then I might start on Killing Eve. We'll see. We'll see how my calendar's looking.
Oh, I should mention. Well, I'll mention homework. Where to actually watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gotta stay tuned for that, listener.
That's right.
No other way to know.
It's a teaser.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Erin, what's your obsession?
Hi. My obsession this week is a musical artist that I feel certain I made you both listen to over Thanksgiving. But
Correct.
This is a musical artist who I and Molly really love. And he just came out with a new album this week. And it's just a delight. And so it made me want to bring him as a musical artist as my obsession this week. I've been listening to him a lot. His name is Kishi Bashi.
Kishi Bashi.
Kishi Bashi.
His name is actually
Kishi Bashi.
Karu Ishibashi, but he goes by K Ishibashi, but his band name is Kishi Bashi, which I think is really clever. Two words. Kishi.
That's fun.
Bashi. It's fun. It's fun.
That's just fun.
You know what? It's fun.
It's just fun is what it is.
So we first discovered Kishi Bashi because we were going to a Guster concert and he was opening for Guster. And it was just him as a solo act. And he's like I believe a classically trained violinist, as they say. And, he's really talented at playing the violin, and he was playing by himself and used like loop pedals and various microphones with effects and beatboxing and various like techniques on the violin to like build up. I saw it described as like a pocket orchestra, basically kind of like B. Studwell does. It was he was opening for Guster, who we were there to see, and we didn't know who he was, and it was so delightful. We just like loved his whole set. It was so great. And so his music is kind of like, he has a beautiful singing voice and kind of sings sometimes in the falsetto and creates beautiful melodies. And so some of his songs are like very pretty. Like they kind of have like this classical element to them. They have this really great, like clever kind of homemade orchestration to them. And he's singing in very pretty harmonies and melodies, but they also have this fun, like, avant-garde-ness about them. Like, his songs, like, some of them are weird, and they, like, rarely go in a direction that you expect them to, but in the most delightful ways. And, through all this have, like, really great melodies, really great hooks that just get stuck in your head, really, like, beautiful and compelling lyrics. One of my favorites from one of my favorite songs by him called, Philosophize with it, Chemicalize with it, I believe is what it's called. Philosophize in it, Chemicalize with it! Exclamation points at the end of each statement. One of the lyrics of, like, the chorus is, if your body was a penny and I was ready to throw it in the fountain of my many memories. Like, just like a beautiful, like, what does that mean? I feel like it means something. Not sure what, but philosophize in it, you know? Chemicalize with it. So just really, he has really beautiful expressions of like love in his songs and just like clever, turns of phrase and just like a delightful artist who it's like, I mean, there are songs on every single one of his albums that I just like really, really love. And, I have put together a easily digestible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 song playlist, not 8 playlists. I put together 8 playlists for you, the listener. I put together just a simple 8-song playlist, which doesn't even scratch the surface, just of like some of my favorites, and I feel like a really good range of Kishi Bashi kind of for you to kind of hook into, because it has this to me kind of has a good example of like all of the different types of songs that he kind of has. And and off of several of his albums, including his new one, which is called Omayari. And this album, which was just released like this week, has a lot of the songs, the themes of them are about the Japanese internment camps. And so those are like really beautiful and compelling, and I think like a lot of them, if not most of them, are about that. So anyway, take that. I'll have Hannah send out the playlist. Mm-hmm. Did either of you guys get around to listen to it?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Nice.
I didn't listen through all of it, I don't think, but I heard Philosophize, Chemicalize with it. And that was really good. And I was just reading through his Wikipedia, and he's collaborated or been in so many bands that I've heard of, like, of Montreal. He was in Of Montreal for a while. It has Regina Spektor as an associated act, although I can't figure out why. There it is.
He toured internationally as a violinist.
With diverse artists such as her and other people.
I love Regina Spektor.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah. And apparently he has his own coffee line.
Yeah.
And his last album before this most recent one, studio album, was called Sonderlust, which I just love.
Yeah. Yeah. That album was pretty good. I think Molly enjoyed it more than I did. I definitely enjoyed some songs, and one of which is on my Kishi Bashi sampler playlist.
Does everyone on this podcast team here know what Sonder means?
It's like sleep?
No.
Dream?
No. You're not going to guess it.
What is it?
It means, like, it's the word for the feeling that you get when you, like, come to, like, you're in a plane or you're on a highway or something and you look around you and realize that everyone else in the world has, like, a life that's just as complex and, like, deep as yours is. That feeling of, like, oh my God. Like I definitely have that when I'm sitting in traffic and I'll look at people and be like, well, they're probably actually on their way to something too. And that person is, and that person, oh my God. Like, there are so many thoughts happening in this line of traffic. Like, all this, you know, that's Sonder.
Yeah. Cool.
Isn't that a cool name?
And he lusts for it.
Yeah. But it's good. I mean, I do think it's like, it's interesting because it's an overwhelming feeling, but it is also like, kind of a key aspect of having empathy for other humans, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting that you say empathy because his new album, I have to look this up, sorry. Wow, are you okay?
Yeah. I just had that was a real strong, real tingly ginger.
New album, Omoyari.
Omoyari.
It's a Japanese word. It doesn't necessarily translate as empathy, but refers to the idea of creating compassion towards other people by thinking about them, which I love because the songs are primarily about the Japanese internment camp. So it's kind of like he and his family weren't there, but it's kind of like a, you know, hey, I'm thinking about you.
Wow.
So, there's also, I'll send along to you, Hannah, too. There's a Tiny Desk concert that he's in from like 2012. The sound quality isn't the best, but it kind of gives you like a good idea of like how he mixes his music. But like the concert version of that was like with like 10 times the energy. He was like so energetic and so entertaining. It was like one of those things, like we watched it, we were like, wow, this guy is awesome. And then we listened to the whole Guster concert, which was great. And then we got in the car and like, we're like, oh my God, let's find this artist and listen to all of his music. So sorry, Guster. Thank you.
That's
Guster.
very cool.
That's fine. That doesn't mean they weren't good.
Oh, yeah, they're always great good. As always.
Yeah.
They were great as always, except a big man stood in front of me.
Oh, is that the worst?
Yeah, and I told him to move and he wouldn't, and then I was really
kicked
drunk.
His ass.
I wish I had.
That's brave. You told him to move, because I didn't do that at the LP concert. I was just like, man, this sucks.
Do you mean lip?
You mean the lesbian person concert you went to?
Yeah. Ben, what was it I was trolling Mom with the other day? When she was
I don't
texting?
know.
Was that funny or obnoxious? Hold on.
Both.
That's my specialty.
Oh, garage.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking about a game called Garagoa.
And I was like, you mean garage? And then she was like, no, Garagoa. And I was like, it really seems like you mean garage.
What is going in the garage, Mom?
Tink Death concert. What's wrong with me? Okay. All right, I'm just pulling up your playlist. We can put it in. Yeah, he sounds totally awesome. It's like I also feel like he's one of those artists that like he's been around making music, really good music for a really long time. And like some of the songs on your playlist, I will likely be like, I've heard this, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and they've been in commercials and stuff.
I have one of his albums saved in my Spotify library, so I must have listened to it at some point.
See? Yeah.
But I don't remember.
Ain't Life Grand?
Forced you guys to at Thanksgiving, so.
What did you play as a Thanksgiving?
Probably like my other like favorite Kishi Bashi. I have like a Kishi Bashi faves playlist that's a bit longer.
Kishi Bashi.
The album I had saved is 151A.
Yeah, there's some good tunes on that one.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Kishi Bash.
Very
Kishi
cool.
Kishi Bashi.
Krishna
Looks like he's from Seattle/Norfolk, Virginia.
It's just great music. I just love it. You will too. No doubt about it.
No, he was in No Doubt.
Yeah, he wrote that song Sweet Escapes with Gwen Stefani.
Oh, by the way, just to correct the record on the title of the Natasha Bedingfield song, it's Pocket Full of Sunshine.
Oh, you're right.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the bridge of that song is what we're singing. Yeah.
That's weird, because I remembered those as two totally different songs.
I listened to, I think, that whole album quite a lot. She had quite a moment.
This confuses and confounds me. Whatever. I'm done.
Okay.
Hannah, go. Erin, great.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I actually had one of those weeks where, like, I was being such a good co-host and following up so much on you guys' obsessions.
And I thank you.
I thank you, too.
So I didn't really develop any like super fresh obsessions, but there was one thing in the list of 3 options last week that I didn't talk about. And so I thought I'd just bring that this week.
Great.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So a while back, do you remember a while ago my obsession was like watching creepy videos on YouTube, like around last Halloween?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, so one of the guys who makes really good sort of explainer videos of like creepy web series, I like subscribed to him. And he put out a new one about this guy, this account called Dad. That's what the account is called. Have you guys heard of this at all?
A YouTube account?
Yes.
No, I have not.
Let me see what his actual account name is. I am subscribed to Dad.
Should I go to YouTube and look at it, or is it going to be creepy?
No, it's not creepy.
Should I just type Dad? How do I find them?
I'll send you a link to his page.
That's a great question.
You can kind of see what he's up to.
Thanks, Ben.
So Dad has been amassing subscribers. When I first watched this video, he had like 5,000 or maybe more like 10,000. And now he's like around 42,000 subscribers. Almost 44,000. So it's a creation of this, like actor, and there's still a lot to be revealed about it, I think. But it's basically like he's been building this story of this guy Dad who doesn't speak verbally. He speaks with his thoughts, and he's always in this kind of like sterile environment where he's like eating cans that are just labeled food and they look like they're cranberry sauce. And he's got his wife who he just calls wife. I think she does have a name, but he calls her wife or mom. And he has a daughter who he just calls daughter. And they all also talk without words. And over time, like, things are revealed that are maybe going on in Dad and Mom's life and like conflicts and stuff, but it's all very artificial and like kind of, you know, odd and stereotypical stereotypical situations for like a family to be in, but obviously extremely odd because no one is like moving their mouths and everyone looks like the most like classic version of whatever they're being, like dad, mom, or daughter. And so it's still building, but there's like kind of this underlying story that's coming through, and it's, you know, it's yet to be seen whether it's going to really build to a satisfying conclusion, but I've been kind of following it, and I think it's kind of interesting. And the reason I mention, what's the name of the guy whose video I watched? Please hold. Nightmind.
It looks deeply creepy.
It's not really creepy. Like, there's a mystery. It's mysterious, but it's not really
unsettling.
creepy. It's maybe a little unsettling. Okay, so the video is called Dad's on YouTube, an ARG for the modern father, and this is like the guy whose video I originally watched that got me interested in this. His name is Nightmind, and he does like long form explainer videos. So I'll link this. If you guys don't want to watch it, you don't.
Wow, that's a long video.
Have to, but. Yeah, I mean, he's done much longer than that because this is like even not a completed series. Like he usually does them when a series is over, but sometimes if he thinks something's interesting, he'll like do like an early one and kind of just give you a taste of what's going on with it. But yeah, so I watched that and I actually Ian happened to be there too. Usually he doesn't watch these videos with me, but he watched this particular one with me. So that's why I like subscribed to Dad, and we've been kind of following it together, which has been kind of fun because he doesn't usually get involved in my sort of more obscure, slightly less mainstream interests on YouTube. So it's been fun to kind of keep up with it together. You know, I noticed, as often happens with these types of things, there are also like social media accounts that are like in canon for whatever story is happening. So Dad has a Twitter called Dad Feels. He has an Instagram with the same handle, where he posts fan art, but he also posts like stuff. Basically, Dad's goal seems to be the number one YouTuber. And that's like his whole thing. He's always like, subscribe to Dad, da da da. Like he does like, and he'll tweet at other YouTubers, like urging them to get off of YouTube, how it's not safe and like stuff like that. And
the only account he follows on Twitter is True Value Hardware.
Oh yeah, and he's obsessed with True Value. He loves True Value, and it's kind of funny because on Instagram, whoever runs the True Value social media account like interacts with him all the time. Like they follow each other, but they're not in canon. But there is a second Instagram account that I noticed, and a few other people did, that is definitely like an in canon account. There's like a secondary love interest that's like currently she's away traveling, but she has like a travel Instagram that you can follow, and they interact with each other on Instagram. So like it's very early days, but these videos are short. They're like, the worst that they are is probably unsettling a little bit because he does do a lot of like just kind of staring at the camera and smiling, but it's not like the story is not like a supernatural one. It's more of like maybe there's something like AI or aliens going on. It's the general feeling that I get. So it's not the kind of creepy that like would give me nightmares personally. But if you're sensitive to that kind of thing.
But I'm strong-willed and very cool. So.
And I don't like action movies. So if you're like me, then you might like these.
If you don't huh?
This is like similar. Your obsession one week was, what is it? Not altered reality vlogs, but like the, what was that? It was like the web blogs that, of old that seemed normal, but then they were like things.
ARGs?
Yeah. It is. It's an ARG, yeah.
It's an ARG.
Did you just say weblogs?
I did. I did.
It's fine. Listen, we didn't all grow up in the internet age.
I'm not,
But you did.
I'm not a technologist as a profession. That's certainly not true.
Yeah, it is. It's an ARG to at least to some degree. Like it's building some kind of story. There's a certain degree of like stuff outside of the actual channel that you can interact with. He does a lot of replying to comments and stuff, but it's interesting. I don't know. What's interesting is part of his character that he's built is like the wanting to be a number one YouTuber thing. And he does like play with that. And so like, I was talking to Ian the other day, like the Instagram is weird because like he posts on Instagram whenever he has a new video to promote. He posts on Instagram whenever, and he also posts a bunch of fan art on Instagram, but he does also post things that like look like they could be like puzzles or something that is like more related to the story than like the promotional stuff you see on there. And that feels like he's not keeping like his tone consistent on his like social media sort of angle on this, but also like part of the brand of dad, like part of the story of the dad character is that he wants to be the number one YouTuber and he's trying to take on like behaviors that will do that for him. So
it's meta as fuck.
Yeah, it's all very meta and weird and interesting.
So the character is acting out of character because of the motivations of the character.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, yeah. It's just, who knows where it'll go. It's like, I think still pretty early days. I think technically it's broken into seasons and he just started his second season like a few weeks ago. And the start of the second season the video was really interesting and extremely like outside of, there have been a few that sort of break the format that I told you about where he's like in a room that's just like, sterile. And in one of them, he even actually like talked with his mouth.
Weird.
And he was outdoors but then there was, this other one where I started to feel like maybe there are aliens involved, which was like the start to season 2, which was like actually almost like kind of cinematic, and like seemed to have a lot of clues in it that I haven't. The other thing about these and the reason I think I like I don't know whether this is a good one or not, because that's why I usually watch the videos, because if you really want to get into like trying to solve the mysteries in these shows before they're actually over, it's like work and research that I don't have time for. So I'm like watching it and I don't know if there's levels that I'm missing because I'm not like on the right forum. So I'm just like waiting to see if it pans out to be something really interesting or if it's just kind of like this, this was an interesting concept and then kind of got lost in itself or what, But I do recommend checking it out and I'll definitely let you guys know whether it gets more interesting or not.
Dope.
So, yeah, Dad. Yeah, so that's it.
Neato.
Very cool.
Neato Petito. Cool. Let's do homework then.
Let us.
Okay, it's me now.
It's you.
Listen here. Here's what I teased earlier. I'm going to tell you where to watch those shows.
Oh!
Fleabag is on Amazon Prime.
I knew that.
Both seasons. Killing Eve, currently watching it on Hulu. I believe the second season is also there. Hulu has so many fucking ads, I hate it. But it's the only place I could find it.
Like for free? Or do you have to pay for it and then it has ads?
Yeah, it still has ads.
You pay for it and then it has ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
That's how Hulu works now. You can't watch anything on Hulu if you don't pay for it, right?
I don't know about that because I've had a paid account for a while. There is a tier on Hulu now where you can watch without ads, but it costs more. It used to be that you could watch only certain episodes without paying, but in order to get access to everything, you had to pay, but then there would still be ads in it. Always, but then they added a tier that's like ad free. But
they even have ads when you pause. Like there's an ad on the pause overlay. It's insane. There's ads everywhere. But unfortunately, you just gotta bite the bullet because the show's really good. So watch Killing Eve on Hulu. Watch Fleabag on Amazon Prime. Me Twitter nicely proved Ben. Thank you for follow. My Twitch is Disco Greg.
Disco
Greg. Give it a follow. Watch me play Pokemon sporadically.
One time I watched you play for like an hour or two and you couldn't get shit going, so you just gave up and went to bed.
That's been the last few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up then.
No, it's hard to... The beginning of that run is really hard, and I made it harder by learning a new thing makes it
harder,
more difficult. And it like, if you don't have time to like do it every day, then you get out of practice and it gets harder and harder. So like, you know, I'll go back to it probably this summer once I have a little more time.
Oh, you know, they say knowledge is power, flee dangerous.
They always say that. Mm-hmm. I hear that every day.
Knowledge is power, and power corrupts absolutely.
That's why I don't learn.
Yeah. Erin, what's your homework?
Oh, I go after bed now. How delightful. My homework is listening to Kishi Bashi. If you're like, oh, he has so much music, where do I begin? Hey, I've made a playlist for you. Hannah, if you would be so kind to tweet it out, you can listen to it. Okay?
And other people, not just me.
Hannah, once you tweet it out, you can listen to it. Yeah, Kishi Bashi, that's Kishi Bashi, Bashi. Okay.
It's like
okay. I'm off Twitter. I'm off Instagram. I'm no fun anymore. My website's up. It's earnburn.com. Check it out.
What's it all about?
Website.
Oh, okay, cool. My homework is, if you're interested in this kind of thing, mysterious ARG type YouTube stuff like I am, check out Dad, the YouTuber on YouTube. #1 YouTuber Dad. And my Twitter is Hanthropology, like the study of people with an H at the beginning of it. That is also my Instagram, same. And another podcast called So Dreamy. We talk about dreams. It's been super fun lately.
It's been.
And whoa, what? Did someone just belch in the middle of singing one week?
No, I scoffed because I didn't want that song in my head.
Why was your scoff so deep?
Because actually, all day, my coworkers have been planting shitty songs in my head.
Oh my God.
It was just like,
never mind. I'm not going to tell you what Ian got stuck in my head earlier because it's
oh
not
no, tell
fair.
me. Just add to it.
Ian's been singing different versions of Baby Shark all day, which is like mind-boggling because I don't understand where he even got
I actually have never heard that song,
and he said
so I'm safe.
Don't look it up.
You're inoculated.
I'm safe.
He said it was me that I sang it first, but I don't remember that. But that is what happens with that song.
I've never heard Ian sing, and you sing all the time, so I'm going to side with Ian on this one.
I agree.
You've got a song in your heart.
Evidence points to your fault.
Yeah, your fault.
Do you guys, have I ever told you about how I know when my mom, Aunt Brown, comes into a bathroom, like a public, like when you're out at a restaurant and you go into a public bathroom, like with stalls, and then like someone else comes in, I always know if it's my mom. Yes.
She hums. She's a hummer.
She's always humming.
Oh, I whistle constantly. Yeah. I'm a whistler. I feel bad about it. I whistle so much. I feel like it's annoying for everyone around me.
It's because you're always working. Fucking Seven Dwarf style. What's up?
What's up, Ben?
What's up?
Anyway, homework for the podcast. If you want to call us and tell us what your obsession is this week, you can do that. We have a voicemail at 774-326-0420.
Blaze it.
You can follow the podcast on Instagram at TwoBroadPod. You can follow... Did I say Instagram? On Twitter at TwoBroadPod. You can follow us on...
Same thing.
It's different handles, though. We're at TwoBroadPod on Twitter, and we're WayTooBroad on Instagram.
Just follow all of them.
Just follow. Just find... They're all linked to each other. Just find them.
Go to our website.
Yeah, go to our website, and... hang on. Oh, and our email, waytoobrod@gmail.com. Yeah, you can find all of that information, including the correct handles for Twitter and Instagram at waytoobrod.com for anything you want. www.earnben.com for anything you need. Please visit. It's probably lonely, and it's a great website for it has anything you need on it. And if you had a fun episode 90 with us. 90 episodes in. If you want to tell us how fun the last 90 episodes have been for you, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I have to stop saying iTunes because apparently it's going to stop existing soon.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. There'll be Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, and a third one that I can never remember.
Apple Poop.
Apple Poop. It means nothing to me because I am an Android person.
Yeah.
Not literally.
It means like a robot.
Dang, you got me. So, yeah. So that's it. Now that I've revealed my secret identity, the podcast candle is now extinguished.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for 90 episodes. Everybody.
Thanks, 90.
We love you.
We're 90. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.